Terraria, and your game usually looks kinda like this. Would you rather it look more like this? Well, you're in luck, 'cause I got you covered.
Not Udisen.
Hey there, my name is Salandrak, and welcome to my Beginner's Guide series for Terraria version 1.4, The Journey's End. Terraria has been around for just over 9 years, but recently got its final content update, and I thought this would be the perfect time to make a tutorial series for the game. In this video guide series, I will be covering various game mechanics and strategies, and will guide you along the path of progression through each stage of the game to the final goal of defeating the Moon Lord. In today's episode on Getting Started, we'll cover some of the game settings to consider, a few game mechanics you'll need to know about, and demonstrate some early game activities to get started on the right foot. All guides in this series will have timestamps down in the description, so feel free to jump around between topics as needed. And if you like this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and leaving comments below to help me grow the channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Terraria is one of those games where there is so much to explore and do that if you don't have a good roadmap, it's easy to spin your wheels, get lost and frustrated with no idea of what to do next. So let's start out with a good overview of what exactly you'll be doing in this game. For the most part, progression in Terraria revolves around exploring the world, finding loot, and crafting materials to improve your gear, so you can fight and defeat increasingly difficult enemies and bosses. This in turn will give you access to further improvements in gear to enable you to fight and defeat even more difficult enemies and bosses, and so on and so forth, until you defeat the final boss, the Moon Lord, and then do whatever you want after that. The game as a whole is divided into two major sections known as pre-hard mode, the state the world is in when you start the game, and hard mode, which is triggered by defeating the Wall of Flesh boss in the underworld. In pre-hard mode, you'll start out with only a few basic and nearly useless tools, and then through a combination of surface and cave exploration, you'll gather loot and mine ore to get basic weapons and armor. Once you're ready, it'll be time to start facing bosses. You'll begin with the Eye of Cthulhu, followed shortly after by either the Eater of Worlds if your world has the Purplish Corruption evil biome, or the Brain of Cthulhu if you have the Gory Crimson evil biome. At some point, either before or after those two bosses, you'll likely run into the optional Slime King, and then you'll also want to take on the jungle's Queen Bee and defeat Skeletron to give you access to the dungeon. The only pre-hard mode boss after that is the Wall of Flesh, but there are a number of miscellaneous tasks you'll likely want to perform first, which we'll cover in a later video. But once you're ready, you'll head down to the underworld to defeat the Wall of Flesh, whose death will change your world forever. Most notably, entering hard mode will cause significantly stronger enemies to begin spawning throughout the world, will cause new swaths of your world's evil biome as well as the magical hollow biome to appear, and both of which will start to spread. Hard mode will also allow you to smash evil altars to bless your world with new, more powerful ores to mine, and you'll then face a whole host of bosses and events as you grow stronger and stronger until at long last you defeat the final foe.
Oh, what a guide.
We sense